So we're going to start at the bottom.
Okay.
We're going to start at the bottom. And this is going to be really tough because like, I don't want it. There's like 30 teams. I don't want there to be like 13 tiers. I want to try to like have more than like 2 teams in a tier.
Well,
so,
how many tiers do you have? Let's start there.
I'm between like 5 and 6.
Oh, it's perfect. Okay.
We're going
to 30 teams and then there's 5 or 6 tiers. So that
okay. Works. So are we ready with my bottom tier?
Your bottom tier. What's it called?
Oh, I was not given the task that I
just figured you're the writer. You would name the tiers.
So let's could we use an analogy of like give me like a thing. Give me like maybe like fast food restaurants.
Oh, okay, I like it. So this is do not
say the White Castle tier because the White Castle is
the championship contenders. No, I White Castle after the wedding. I was just out on Saturday. Completely messed me up over the weekend. So it absolutely would be the bottom tier. Let's find one we mutually would like to slander though.
We can do what's like something where you might get like bad service.
I would say Waffle House, but the food's not terrible, and the show isn't even better.
You know what? I'm going to say something that's probably going to piss off a lot of people. I'm putting Dunkin' Donuts in the bottom tier because I think their coffee is crap. Listen, their coffee,
all right, it's your list, your tiers. Fine.
Their coffee is crap. The food is like fine, and the donuts are like eh. It's like you call Dunkin' Donuts. The donuts are not that good. There's much better donuts out there. I've said my piece. That's it.
Thank you for coming to John's TED Talk. I vehemently disagree. Your bottom tier, John.
Okay, and it's fitting because there will be some people that like these teams. Okay, 5 teams in the bottom tier. 5 teams, yes, 5 teams in the bottom tier. And really, if I was to do a tier within a tier, there would be 2 teams at the bottom of the tier. And so I'll go from the bottom up. Orlando Magic. I'm sorry, Chip Murphy, but they are number 30. Houston Rockets, number 29. Again, this is all fairly tentative.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it actually gets tough because I could actually see arguments being made for all 3 of these teams to be in a tier higher. So let's go with the Oklahoma City Thunder, just because I think they're going to kind of try to lose 28. We're going to go with the Pistons, because a rookie running the show is still a rookie running the show, and they had some issues last year. 27, and then just missing out, your Cleveland Cavaliers, 26.
Okay, so this is the compete. Who's the big prospect of next year's lottery that teams will be wanting to compete for?
You know, I should probably know this. So I'm going to do a quick Googling of 2022 NBA mock draft because I think I know the name, but I'm not 1,000% sure.
Is it Paolo Banchero?
It's Paolo and then Chet Holmgren. I knew Chet. I couldn't remember Paolo because I'm not as well versed yet.
So this is the booty for Banchero. I'm trying to think of like the fade for Cade, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to come up with a saying for who the number.
For some reason I thought fret for Chet, but that
fret for. I mean that rhymes. That's fine.
It does rhyme. I don't know if it's coherent,
good, but yeah, it's fret.
And then there's some other guys who like I've seen these names before, but like they don't really mean much to me if I'm being completely honest. I think you're going to be looking at a top 2 there. So. That's my any big disagreements from you?
I mean, I don't know how much better I think they're gonna be, but I think Cleveland, they may end up being one of the 6 worst records in the league based off how good the East got and how they might just be a year or 2 away. But I actually tend to like the Colin Sexton,
as you have gone on record,
as I have, but like I actually tend to like the Evan Mobley addition to that team, and I think that starting 5 at least with the potential of them all growing together could actually win close to 30 games. I just don't know if like 27 is like that big a difference from the bottom of the league. I think the bottom of the league is bad. Like I would have whatever your next tier is, them at the very bottom of it. rather than the next. Like there's a legitimate 5 in there, which I agree with. Although you had Detroit in there, right?
Yeah. So like to me, honestly, like Houston and Orlando really should kind of be in a tier by themselves because those like clearly the Magic are all about development this year. The Rockets, it's a little dicier with the Rockets because they do still have John Wall. And like ostensibly John Wall is going to want to play basketball and play basketball well. Like Christian Wood is a good basketball player. He's a really good basketball player. He was in the All-Star conversation last year. So like these are things that, you know, but I feel fairly confident. Honestly, my favorite team in terms of just like ceiling is the Thunder from this tier, because I think SGA is ready to take a step up and is an all-star like right now. And, you know, maybe a couple of, but I just think they're going to try to tank again. Like they made an overt effort to tank last year.
So you had Cleveland, Detroit, OKC, Houston, Orlando. What was the other team?
No, that was it. Cleveland.
Oh, it's just those 5 teams.
Yeah, just those 5 teams.
I thought you said 16. Okay, then there's one team that I would replace Cleveland with, which I'll wait until you get to them, and then I'll say who they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be said. I mean, like,
I actually would have Detroit ahead of. I mean, you have Detroit ahead of OKC. Detroit, there's a world where Cade is as advertised, and it's like a Ja Morant type of thing, where as a rookie, he's having them as a play-in team. You know,
that's fine, but I think you look at the team that Luka Doncic came to in Dallas, and I don't know that this Detroit team, in terms of supporting pieces, is any materially better than the team that Luka walked into. Luka walked in in my mind, as good as you can be as a rookie, and that team still only won 30 some odd games. So,
yeah,
you know,
fair.
Like,
I mean, that was what they ended up with the 10th pick in the draft that then went to Atlanta and they took Cam Reddish.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you told me Detroit
I also
had
don't
a
think
bad enough record to be I mean, maybe they're not he's not Luka, whatever. But if you told me they had the 10th worst record in the league, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll say this for here's the thing about Cleveland. Rookie big men, I think, well, all rookies struggle, but rookie big men, I think, struggle in particular. I think so. Mobley's going to take a little bit of time. He needs to put on a little bit of weight. And I'm not as you know, I'm not as big a believer in Sexton as you. He's still got the Kevin Love situation there. Like, are they going to buy him out? Are they going to have to play him minutes? Like, there's just, okay. So those are the bottom 5. We don't really need to talk about them too much. The next tier to me is where it gets interesting. And there's some teams in here that like, so I'm going to say the first 2 teams, the bottom 2 teams, obviously I'm going to say first. And I think the only reason why these 2 teams are in this tier and not the tier below is organizational respect. And those 2 teams. So this is the beginning of we need a new name. We could put White Castle here.
Thank you. Okay.
We could put White Castle.
There. You trash Duncan, so I get to trash White Castle now.
Love White Castle. I can go for some White Castle right now.
Oh,
so those 2 teams in whatever order you want. So put them as a tie for 24th, I guess, would be Toronto and San Antonio. And actually, I'll put Toronto one spot higher because I think there's absolutely like either of these teams, if they made the playoffs, wouldn't shock me. But it would surprise me a lot if San Antonio made the playoffs. If Toronto was like the 8 or the 9, would not shock me in the least. I think Scotty Barnes, as much as I think they should have taken Suggs, I think Scotty Barnes is going to be good. Van Fleet and Anunoby, if they could figure out the Siakam situation, like there's talent there. Like they have good players, and it's Toronto. They like figure it out. Nick Nurse is a top 5 coach. So I'll go Spurs. Then so let's see, Spurs 25, Toronto 24. And then it gets interesting. So this is where I'm going to put my bucket of, I just don't think they're that good yet. And I'm going to go, this might be a little controversial.
Okay.
New Orleans 23, Sacramento 22.
Wow.
Charlotte 21, Minnesota 20.